Mr. President.
Senator from Mississippi.
I ask unanimous consent that the quorum call be vitiated.
Without objection.
And I understand we are in morning business.
Yes, we are.
Thank you, Mr. President. In June of this year, I joined my friend and colleague, Senator Ben Cardin, here on the Senate floor to discuss an issue of great concern to both of us and to many Americans and to many advocates of freedom and the rule of law internationally. And that issue is the ongoing trial in Russia of Mikhail Khodorkovsky and his business partner Platon Lebedev. This trial, or what Gary Kasparov, writing in the Wall Street Journal, called the latest judicial travesty, came to a close November 2nd. A decision by the court is expected on December 15th. Khodorkovsky was first arrested in 2003 and convicted in 2005. This trial was unfair and politically motivated, according to Western human rights groups, Western media, and many other independent observers. There is broad opinion that this second trial has been staged, has not provided the opportunity to judge facts in a clear, impartial manner, and in general has not honored the rule of law. I would note that this is not a jury trial. The finder of fact is a single judge. Many have claimed that this judge has come under both direct and indirect pressure in this case. In addition, the prosecution has used language in closing arguments as if a guilty verdict had already been rendered. Sadly, there seems to be little hope in a just verdict from this second trial, and now Khodorkovsky and Lebedev face the prospect of many more years in jail. These men have already served 7 years in prison and paid an unjust price for a politically inspired campaign against them. They have sacrificed much of their lives, their freedoms, and their rights. It is time for both men to be set free and for justice to be served in Russia. This case is broader than Khodorkovsky and Lebedev as individuals. It raises the question about whether or not there are truly independent, functioning institutions in Russia. A guilty verdict would show that when Russian authorities want to, they can act above the law, as they did in the first trial. It would also underscore that property rights in Russia are meaningless, sending a chilling message to investors and businesses alike, both domestically in Russia and internationally. I fear we will see more cases where rights are violated and the legal process undermined. Thankfully, it is becoming increasingly difficult for Russian authorities to hide the illegitimacy of the charges and the process. Government officials, human rights activists, journalists, and others continue to raise questions about the legitimacy of this trial. Some might suggest that we in the Congress and that we in America should refrain from commenting on cases in a sovereign nation's court system. I disagree. I do not think this is true when a nation's court system is clearly not independent and is being used to undermine the rule of law and fundamental democratic principles. I have led efforts to support congressional resolutions and hearings to draw attention to specific issues about this case because I believe they are symbolic of broader and disturbing trends in Russia. And I and other colleagues in the Senate will continue to do so. As I said in June of this year, the United States stands behind those that call for freedom from tyranny and justice around the world. We must continue to stand with Mikhail Khodorkovsky and Platon Lebedev. As a second flawed trial comes to a conclusion, this is truer now than ever before. The international community will be closely watching the outcome of this case. And I urge my colleagues, I urge President Obama and the administration to do the same. I hope Russia will choose the right path and somehow that justice will prevail in this infamous case. Thank you, Mr. President.